Me and the boys like to shake, rattle, and troll.
It's time for the award-winning Shake, Rattle, and Troll.
Yeah, here's to everybody. Grab your favorite pose. Me and the boys gonna shake.
A show for the serious fishermen as well as the novice looking for tips from the pros. Shake, Rattle, and Troll, brought to you by Bill Lute Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. I-17 and Camelback Road since 1927.
Yeah, we got the power, we got the speed. We're running wide open on a midsummer breeze. Freshwater, saltwater, watch out, boys. Bass Daddy Don's gonna make some noise. It's me and the boys gonna shake, rattle, and...
Now, here's your host, saltwater fisherman, the man that fears no fish, Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro, Don McDowell.
Yeah, man. Hey, Big Bass Days is over, JK. We lived through it. In the house with me today, we're blessed with beauty, grace, and
and Joey.
Yeah. Hey, good.
Thanks, Don.
It was the co-host. I have nothing but the greatest respect for you. Great reverence.
His Prius is trembling outside right now.
Oh, there goes the money. I won.
Yeah.
It took first words out of his mouth almost. I knew he was going to go back to that trembling
And
Prius.
you were expecting what?
No. It's just he has a standard procedure, and the betting was 2-1, and Patrick wouldn't take the bet. I said, you watch him. The first words out of his mouth.
All righty, let's get this thing kicked off today. Our voice of moderation and reason, JK, is with us.
As always.
Rumor has it you have an elk tag?
My son has an elk tag, not one that he really wanted, but that's okay.
Elk tag's an elk tag.
Absolutely, we'll be eating.
It's Arizona. You take what you can get.
All the time.
We have a special guest in the house.
That we do.
Anna Camacho. And we are blessed with the grace of world-renowned hunter Joe Notcha from Lookout Mountain Outdoors.
Wow.
Are you friends with the Humane Society? Just checking.
Doubtful.
Okay, that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us in here. That's a good thing. JK, we've got a lot of stuff to cover today. We're going to talk to Anna, and by the way, she is a world-class archer.
There you go.
Yes. And this afternoon at 4 o'clock, you, him, Lookout Mountain Outdoors in the back. Bring your Hoyt, and you're going to be shooting a what?
No, I'm not shooting.
22 long rifle?
I'm not shooting my recurve against a compound.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm still pretty excited with archery coming to a whole new level with the bow mag. Archery is much too quiet.
It's not going to happen, Don.
Pow! Nice. Okay, let's get started. JK?
Well, I met Anna at the bow hunters banquet, and it was through Eddie Corona. I chatted with Eddie afterwards the last couple of weeks, and Anna's got a very interesting story.
I've tried to talk to Eddie. There's just no talking to Eddie.
No, it's a monologue. His end, you just deal with it as best as you can.
Buenos dias.
But Anna, let's talk a little bit about your history. You were a runner in high school, correct?
This is correct. I ran cross country for a couple years, and I was on the track to run Division I in college. I was breaking records. I was top of the state, so I was top of the line varsity in my team. So
now you had an episode when you were with Eddie at a youth camp, correct? What happened there?
I was at my first turkey hunt. My family was getting into hunting, and it was my first hunt. My brother started hunting, and I knew it was something I wanted to do. And my dad and I were watching a turkey calling seminar, and I passed out into his arms for the first time, and we had no idea what was going on. And we went back into the valley, and after running several tests, and I was hospitalized many times, and the doctors couldn't figure out what exactly was going on with me, but the only thing they could decide was that it was kind of best for me to stop my running career, and that was kind of the best thing for me to do until they found out what exactly was going on with me medically.
How long ago was it?
This was my freshman year of high school. So
now, what happened? Did they ever identify what the issue was?
It took them a year and a lot of tests and hospitalizations, and then I was finally diagnosed with the genetic heart condition, long QT valve syndrome, which is a delay when my heart goes to recharge, and it basically can send me into cardiac arrest. And so
not real good on a cross-country trip.
No, not an ideal situation. So it basically ended my running career and basically my goal for my lifetime. I was planning to run in college. I wanted to run in the Olympics, and that was like my lifetime goal. That was the plan. And so I had basically given up all hopes, and I didn't really know what I was going to do from there on out. And that's when I was basically given a bow by a family friend, and he was like, well, maybe you should try shooting a bow, like do something with your time. And I started shooting a bow in the backyard and just kind of messing around, shooting at a hay bale with my brother. And I never really thought I would be in the situation I was until I went to NAU, where I am going to school now. And I tried out for the sports club team that I have, and now I compete collegiately, and I'm nationally ranked, and I'm in the position I am now.
So you did that, and what was the turnaround? Like 2.5 years, all of a sudden you've become I guess that's genetics, Mom. Thank you. Your mom's here. But that's fascinating that you can't run now, right?
I'm not supposed to. I don't run at the level I was. I can run. I have to have someone with me, but I don't compete at the elite level I was then.
See, you can't run around us because he and I can't run it.
We're in the same club.
Yeah.
Told the Master Sergeant, nope, ain't running 2 miles, Master Sergeant.
Yeah.
Joey, I don't think you're running 2.5 miles anywhere, right?
Not with a hip replacement. No.
See? Yeah. There you go. You just joined our club.
Yeah, it's a great club to be in.
Nice.
So when was the first tournament that you ever entered in terms of archery?
My first big collegiate tournament was actually just 1 year ago, last March. So it was in Salt Lake City, and it was indoor nationals. So it's actually been 1 year since I've competed in one actual collegiate tournament. So
this is like compulsive obsessive behavior.
You and I wouldn't know anything about that, would we? No.
Back in the day, there was years of shooting 40, 50 hours a week. Boom, boom, boom.
That's why he has that little jitter that you see. It's okay. So how many hours a day do you shoot now?
This week I was off of school. I was at spring break, and I was at home, and I was definitely spending at least a couple hours every day in the backyard shooting, if you ask my parents. So,
Joy, how many hours?
Wait a minute, spring break equals Rocky Point? No. Oh.
No,
Bob's shaking her head no. I guess that's not
Lake
happening.
Havasu, Copper Canyon. How many hours do you shoot a week?
Well, some days I shoot 100 arrows in the morning. That's with a recurve, and then 100 arrows after work. So times 6 minimum. Some days I shoot 7 days a week.
Wow.
But if you want to get good with a recurve, instinctively, that's what you got to do. So it's taken a while, especially at my young age, to get used to.
Question for both of you guys. How long have you been shooting?
I started bow hunting in 74, and I'm still doing it.
Wow.
So,
You don't want to know.
I asked a question.
Yeah. 1957, I had my first stick bow. That's what I shot.
well, my first bows were, I was 8, 9 years old. So that was a couple of years ago. But I didn't start bow hunting until 74.
He meant to say a few decades ago.
Hey, come on.
Same for both of us, Joey. It's okay.
That Prius is shaking.
He's still doing one. That squealing noise, that's the hamster. There's a Cummins out there. Woo!
So when did you know, seriously, Anna, when did you know that you had the talent to actually shoot competitively or even try?
I definitely struggled all the way through last season, especially at my first competition. I was like, I don't really know if I have what it takes to keep up with these other competitors. I'm shooting against girls who attend their university on scholarships to shoot.
That's scary stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm just walking in here with a bow that's not even my correct draw length. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing here. And it wasn't until I went to outdoor nationals that were in Long Beach last May that I really kind of turned things around and shot way better than I even expected myself to shoot. I went into qualifications and kind of surprised myself, and even my teammates were like, you've never shot this good before. And I was like, I don't know where that came from. And I kind of spent the week before nationals at my house, just like spending a lot of hours shooting the days leading up to the trip, and kind of making sure I had like my sights set and everything. And we showed up, and I was just like shooting lights out. And then came competition. I shot my first Robin Hood at 55 meters, and I was like, okay, this might be it. Like,
what's a Robin Hood?
So it's when I shoot.
Something you've never experienced. Okay.
It's when you shoot one of your arrows and then your other arrow goes directly into the nock of the other one. So I shot my first Robin Hood like on the X, which is like basically a bullseye at 55 meters. And it was pretty cool because I'm shooting with like 200 other people on the line, and the whole line just like erupted into like cheers, and they were more excited than I was for myself. And everyone's taking pictures of my arrow because they thought it was awesome.
Yeah, your folks over there going, damn, there goes 2 arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it going, okay, that's $8.75 a piece.
Yeah, but hey, we're going to flip into a break when we come back. She's got her bow. I'm going to have my operations manager put an apple on his head, stand in the corner, and we'll see how this works out.
Ooh, I like that thought.
Now, would you two-step or line dance to that?
I will never line dance to anything. That's two-step material.
Okay, just checking.
Good Lord.
All righty, we're back with Joe Notcha and world-class shooter, another world-class shooter. No offense.
I'm not.
Anna Camacho. Yeah, you are. Come on. This guy, he's pretty modest. He took down a 2,200-pound Cape buffalo.
Wow.
With an arrow. I mean, it's like, I got to ask him, Joy, what the hell are you thinking?
He's thinking that he prays his guide, the backup, has that gun locked and
loaded.
Yeah,
got the PH.
The excitement you feel on a red elk hunt when you're
not for a while.
I do. I was there last year, the year before that.
25 yards away from
I've said it once. I
view.
Say it again. You suck, JK.
Well, you get that same feeling with dangerous game, maybe even more so.
Oh, yeah.
Then you have the fear factor in to boot.
There's nothing better than hunting something that will hunt you back.
Well, they can do that. So, but it worked out. So,
what kind of equipment are you shooting?
I shoot the Hoyt Charger.
You like it?
I do. I really like it.
Is it now finally to your draw length? What are you, 27 inch?
And 27 and a half.
Bingo.
I've got a hacksaw. We can just trim it down a little bit.
Yeah, we could do that.
So who does your tuning and all that? Do you do that, or you take it down someplace?
I take it down to a shop here, and then I'm really lucky to have some teammates that usually help me whenever I need stuff, so.
You know anybody that tunes bows?
Well, yeah, I don't know if you're ever in the valley, but if you want your bow tuned professionally, bring it to our shop. We'll take care of you.
Thank you. I really
He's got
appreciate it.
absolutely the best bow tech in the Southwest.
Yeah, Glenn Sheldon, who used to own Wild West Archery, and sold Hoyts.
He's a legend.
He is.
Wow.
This guy is a fanatic about making bows right. But
he's just a fanatic.
Bring your bow in, and we'll take care of you.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
I want to talk a little bit about, I've heard that they have world-class shooting facilities up at NAU. Is that true?
This might be a myth.
So where do you shoot up at NAU?
We currently drive out to the Arboretum, out in the woods to shoot.
Out in 6B?
I'm not quite
Yes,
sure.
that's 6B.
Yeah, this might be in 6B.
I pass it, I speed, I blow my horn.
I
make
passed
hand
it several
gestures,
times, even in the Prius.
Yeah, it's part of Berkeley North. But anyway.
Next weekend will be our first time shooting on campus. We just got it approved to shoot on campus.
Wait a minute, you have to drive all the way out there to shoot every time for practice too?
Every weekend, yeah.
Wow.
NAU, we're only considered a club sport, so we don't really get recognized by the school a whole lot. Even though we're nationally ranked, we bring a lot of respect and honor to the school. NAU is one of the highly recognized archery clubs in the nation, and we don't really get funding or...
Wait a minute, there's no scholarship involved here?
No.
What? Serious?
Correct.
How many team members you have?
16.
split male female, or is it equal?
There's more males than females, but we're getting pretty close in size, so.
Huh.
I told you, women are dominating.
Everything. They're going to take over. They should have a long time
Except
ago.
NASCAR.
Oh, they did. Never mind. We do that.
Danica Patrick, how long do you think she'll last today?
I think she'll go every lap but one. She'll be down a lap.
I'll put her in 33rd today, but.
Oh, well. By the way, don't you owe somebody a double cheeseburger?
I do. Yeah. Big Mike, was at the race, and we had a challenge going that Gordon wouldn't finish in the top 10.
He finished what position?
He finished 9th.
Oh.
And there was a double cheeseburger with double cheese involved. And,
good bet, Mikey. Good job.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about how many hours a day do you get to practice, and is this in between your school scheduling? Do you guys all shoot at the same time for practice? How does it work?
So because we don't have anywhere to shoot on campus, and because I'm typically in class and work, because I work on campus from 7:30 to 6 at night, I typically don't get to shoot during the day, because by the time I would drive out to the Arboretum, which is a half hour away from campus, It would already be dark. And so I don't...
We do that a lot. We shoot well in the dark, don't we?
There used to be facilities up at the old city park. Have they evaporated by the old National Guard Armory?
Yeah, not that I know of. They're not there. I typically would go to the archery shop in town, but they close at 6 o'clock. So by the time I'm done with class, they're already closed. So there's really not any places for us to shoot at that really work around a student's schedule who's in class and in meetings and everything. So
I'd set up a target out in the Game and Fish office parking lot out there.
Yeah.
About 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
We might as well.
Yeah, it's not that far from them either.
No.
They're just down the road a little
Nice
bit.
facility.
Closer than the Arboretum.
This is true. We should look into that. But
what do you think, Scott? No,
that's right in Commissioner Davis's backyard.
You just said the right thing. Commissioner Davis's backyard. I wonder how big a backyard he's got.
He's backed up to the Arboretum.
Maybe we could put some night lights up.
Oh, yeah.
Stadium lighting. That would work.
I don't understand why there's no scholarship involved in this. I mean, archery is a huge sport.
It's not a moneymaker, and like a lot of the non-money
Look,
makers.
if you can go to college fishing, why can't...
I know.
I'm not tracking on that.
yeah. I mean, we do have like a bass fishing team, but they're not receiving scholarships either. They're in the same boat as us.
The same boat?
Mm-hmm.
Nice girl.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Well played.
She's going to fit right in.
So.
What is it with bow hunters?
We're all of equally warped perceptives.
Yes.
So when do you get to practice then?
We usually spend a couple hours on Saturdays shooting. And so now on Saturdays we'll have the field house rented out all day. And we're trying to get it rented out all day on Sundays for us too. So we'll have like a solid 6 hours to practice on the weekends.
6 hours.
Let me get this straight. And not that I'm picking on NAU. Being from Flagstaff, I won't do that. However, yeah.
And he's saying he's going to pick on NAU.
Well, look at,
watch. Here we go.
You're nationally recognized, your club. You're bringing notoriety to NAU, which they need. And you have to rent the field house.
We do rent it out, but we're not paying to use the facility.
Basically, all you've done is log it in so that you've got the hours covered and nobody else can use it.
Correct.
All right. I don't want to have to be making phone calls to the dean again. All right. That's cool.
Okay.
As long as they're doing something for you. I mean, that's just...
All right. What about muscle fatigue, though? I'm serious. I mean, if I shoot for an hour, my shoulder starts to give. Don't you see the same thing, or does it just build up in younger people?
I think that a lot of us have gotten to the point where we've been shooting a lot, so we've kind of gotten used to it.
How many pounds are you pulling?
47.
Nice.
That's about what I should be.
I can shoot for 2 or 3 hours. That, Packmeyer recoil pad's perfect.
Yeah, big difference. I will tell you this. I shoot 57, and the 57, by the time I'm done with about 40 arrows, I start to get a little wobbly.
You?
I can't hold that long.
I shoot one recurve at 55, one at 60.
What about your...
But that's holding 55. And
what about your compound?
Big difference.
I shoot my compound at 70, but I've shot as high as 87 pounds.
All righty. That all being said, I'm Don McDowell with
Special K.
And
On it, Camacho.
Joe Nocta.
We'll be right back.
Just the other day, I headed into
And then he got corrective surgery on his eye.
I was in need for a new alarm clock, and a rooster finally hit the ground.
All righty, we're back.
Yeah, all that back talk going on.
Yeah, that's okay. You know, a lot of good things happen during the break. Anna, what size arrows and brand are you shooting?
That's a good question. I honestly don't know.
Really?
Yeah. I usually just go to the shop and have the boys take care of me.
Oh! Joey? See?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all speaking.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Are they all the same arrows?
They are. I do make sure of that.
And they're all cut to the same length?
They are.
Okay. All right. Then
She'd be scary good if she ever had all of this stuff lined up the right way, right?
you see, like instinctive shooting with fingers, there's a whole lot of paradox involved. You have to have the right amount of paradox. So when you release that string, your arrow is going to achieve a certain amount of paradox. And shooting off the shelf with a recurve, that's how it clears the shelf, because that arrow's flexing as it comes.
Right.
With a compound, especially using a release, there's very, very little.
Are you using a release?
I am.
Yeah.
What kind is that?
She doesn't know.
Somebody gave it to her.
Yeah.
Right.
There's very little paradox that comes out of that. So you could, at 47 pounds, you could be shooting really a 300, a 350, a 400 arrow in carbon, and they're all going to shoot.
What
fine.
happened
Now
to 2316s? Are they still around?
Well, no, they're 2317.
17s now.
Yeah.
I know it's a 300.
It's a 300
Yeah.
something or 300.
No, I know it's a 300. I shoot the Gold Tip XT Hunters.
That's a pretty heavy arrow.
I know
for
that
47
for sure.
pounds, but probably better stability, and yeah, it's not a bad idea for shooting competitively.
Mm-hmm.
Little
As long as she's accustomed to it and as long as she practices with it, that's it. That's all you need.
Well, today's hunters are after speed.
Speed.
My bow's not over 300 feet a second. I don't even want it. Which
Not today. We were after speed a long time ago.
we were, but we were trying to get to 200 feet
Yeah.
a second, not over 300 feet a second. In fact,
That-
these things now
that
are
old-
starting to push 400 feet a
I'm
second.
going to bring an overdraw that I built. I'm serious.
I took a sled.
Back in the day, before overdraws were on the market, and before they had things going really fast, we were trying to get 300 feet a second. And I was shooting, I think 1918s at 23 and 3/8 inches long. Coming out of that 75-pound bow, they were smoking.
Yeah, I imagine it would.
Yeah.
23.5-inch arrow.
Yep.
But bows
3/8.
back then weren't designed for the light arrows.
No.
So you may not want to pull that thing back, Don. It might put you in the hospital.
Lot of things will. I choked on a raisin the other day. It was terrible.
These company manufacturers done a great job in getting their bows quiet, shooting. I mean, there's guys out there hunting with 350 grain arrows, 325, and they're just speed. That's all they're looking at.
Well, Adam,
Yeah.
you're shooting a 300, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a heavy
It's
arrow.
a heavy arrow for there, but it's going to fly better in the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's more resistance against the wind, but it's also not nearly as flexible as the lighter ones would be.
Sounds like a Bob Seger thing.
right, but
Just saying.
but coming out of a compound, it's not going to achieve really hardly any paradox because they come out so straight. Using a release and coming out, you using a fall away rest, or what kind of rest are you
I'm
using?
using the QAD HDX
Okay,
drop away.
drop away.
Drop away.
So it's, yeah, I mean, once that releases, that arrow doesn't achieve much paradox and it's flying straight. And you could probably shoot. I wouldn't doubt if you could even get away with a 500 arrow that would come out of there. But I think they're right in choosing a heavier arrow, especially for competition.
So, Anna, where do you rank now?
I just finished indoors, and so I finished first in my region, and I finished ranking 7th in the nation.
Nice.
So a little higher than I would have liked. I had one end Sunday morning that didn't go quite as well as I would have liked and dropped me a couple rankings, but 7th isn't as horrible as it could have been, but I'll take it. I know what I need to do for outdoors, so.
We were talking off the air. You said that UCLA has a good program?
Yeah, all of the California teams are pretty highly ranked. So UCLA, UC Irvine, UC San Diego, they're the teams to beat. Yeah, coming into it, I didn't really expect those teams to really have great archery
Not
programs.
coming out of California, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'd excel in kayaking and Bergenstock wearing and Starbucks slurping.
Exactly, and more of the academic stuff.
Well, on a social aspect, when you talk to the people from California, are they fairly easy to work with? I mean, we see them as such,
Adversaries.
Adversaries. Truly, that's the way we look at everybody from California because it's a hunting sport. But
Yeah.
they don't use it as such, or how does that work?
It's definitely different. When I talk to people from California, when I'm at archery competitions, they're more there to compete, and they're looking at it from, like, the target perspective.
It's a piece of paper.
Correct.
In other words.
Yeah, as to where when I'm talking to people from the University of Cumberland, which is in Kentucky, and I have a lot of good friends who I shoot with from there, and they're hunters. They're there, and they're hunting in the off-season. And we're talking about, like, where we got drawn and, like, 3D and how that's our favorite season and stuff. So we're really looking at it from two different perspectives. So
Makes sense.
Yeah, back there
We have a
they
new
want to see
member of the
blood
club.
come out of the target.
I think we'll just waive all the initiation and just...
We'll let Anna stay in our club now.
Yep.
She will be our official ringer.
Nice.
We could do this. We could make some money with Anna, couldn't we?
Let the cat out of the bag on the air. Nice going, JK.
No.
We get her outfitted with some DD22s and the crawdad color, and
Put her out.
yeah. Maybe we could get her in a carp shoot. You ever shoot fish?
no,
Shooting fish in the lake? Oh,
I've never done it before.
you will have a blast.
I've always wanted to.
Have you shot instinctively before you shot with?
No, I've never done it.
Well, you'll pretty much have to bow fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were talking. You've been shooting now for how long?
4 years.
4 years. Have you noticed the step ladder that you've been taking to get to the level you're at now? You were talking about being intimidated by some of the other, and you reach a peak and you think, oh, there, I'm there. And then the next
Never.
week, boom, 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 she falls down a little bit. But typically when you come back up, you'll exceed what you'd been doing before. So you got that step ladder effect. But pretty soon, you'll be up here, and even on a bad day, you're still going to be shooting well. So obviously you're heading in the right direction. So that's a good thing.
Wow. Good stuff.
No, in a physical aspect, though, you don't have to worry about your heart condition at all when you're regularly, correct?
Correct. I take my medication daily. I wear a medical bracelet just in case anything was to happen to me. If I were to ever go into cardiac arrest, I would have my medical bracelet so someone could
Immediately know
see
what
it.
to do.
Yeah. Whenever I travel, I carry around my paperwork with me so my teammates can see, like, what medications I should avoid if something was to happen to me.
See, he and I carry the same kind of things.
Yeah.
I'm stupid bracelets.
Yeah.
We need help.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. All righty. Hey, fortunately, this week we do not have roll call. That's a really good thing. There's a reason why Obama's covering it up, but that's a whole other thing. But when we come back, we're going to finish up with Anna for a few minutes. We're going to introduce Scott Lavin from the department. And I think he's chief of nightlife and some other things up there. So
Yeah, he's the party central for
yeah,
AZGFD.
cool. Well, and probably he'll want to wipe up the mess that we have made during the first hour. So anyway, hey, I'm Don McDowell with
Special K.
and
Anna Camacho.
And Joe Notcha.
you monkey killer.
Oh, you had to go there, didn't you?
We're going to go there next hour.
Peacemaker. Yes, I am. Can't stop breathing.
All righty, we're back visiting with world-class shooter Anna Camacho. Another world-class shooter, Joe Notcha.
And we got a world-class bull shooter.
Well,
McDowell.
you're right there on the list. I mean, you're whacking, big giant elk, and
yeah,
be nice if you had an elk tag.
It would be.
Well, maybe we can visit with the department when they get here next hour or so.
I think we might just.
It's going to be that'll be the longest half hour of his life.
More than likely.
All righty. So, what's your next big event?
I'm heading to Irvine, California for outdoor regionals here in the middle of April. And then in the middle of May, I am heading across the country for outdoor nationals to Newberry, Florida.
Ooh, where in the world is Newberry, Florida?
It's right in the middle of Florida, far away from any beaches.
No swamps and gators. And
there's
snakes.
There's snakes there.
There's always snakes.
Middle of the state of Florida, inland. Yeah, you got swamps.
Any kind of endeavor like you're on, I don't care who you are or how old you are or where you are in life, it takes a lot of support, from the family unit. How's that working out for you?
My family's my biggest supporter. I was at a shoot last weekend, and they all came out to support me and spent all day in the sun cheering me on, and my brother was out there taking pictures of me and everything, so they're there.
Again, the guys are taking care of it. Go figure.
I don't know. I saw the chauffeur this morning. That chauffeur looks like Mom to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to be said about the Camacho gene pool.
There you go.
Yes, the Camachos are a strong family. So Mom came with me this morning to tag along. So the family's always there for me, rooting me. So they're a big support
system. Do they
system.
travel with you?
They do not. It's really expensive, but they're always there calling me every night, sending me texts, wanting updates. So they're always there for me.
What kind of mental prep do you go through prior to a shoot?
Usually the day before a shoot, we always have practices, and for me, that's basically the biggest mental prep is how I'm going to perform during practice. I find it best that I shoot best when I'm in a good mood, just laughing with my teammates. My teammates are some of my best friends.
That's a girl thing across the board universally. Life is better when y'all are in a good mood.
Yeah.
I would wager that none of them go to Starbucks for espressos prior to a shoot.
No. That's definitely not us.
Dunkin' Donuts Maple Bar and a big cup of coffee?
Yeah.
No.
All over the paper, folks.
Yeah.
No, I'm usually the only girl shooting with all the boys on my team because all the people in my division are guys, so we're usually just...
Excuse me, do you see a pattern developing here?
Break the mold, dear, break the mold.
Yeah. I feel like I'm always fighting upstream.
The Danica Patrick of archery, yeah.
So, we're usually just joking around, having a good time, just trying to remember that we're not in this high-pressure situation, and that's usually when I perform well, is when I'm just kind of doing what I like to do best and having fun.
Fishing tournaments is the same way when you can divorce yourself from the pressure and the things that you put yourself under and just say, you know what, I'm going to go out and go fishing. That's it.
Have fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you have any visions of Olympic shooting?
I would love to. I would have to make the switch into the compound division because I currently switch in the bow hunter division, so I don't shoot with magnification on my sight. And so that's something I'm thinking about possibly making the switch in the future.
So go through that, because I didn't know there was a distinction like that. What are you saying?
Yeah, and collegiately, there's a couple different divisions I can shoot in. So I shoot in the bow hunter division. So my sight, I shoot with pins.
Right.
And my stabilizers are shorter than 12 inches. As to where if I were to shoot in the compound division, my stabilizers could be longer than 12 inches.
Yeah, the 3-footers.
Yeah.
And I could shoot with magnification on my sight. And which means that I could basically, it would be like shooting with a scope. Correct. I could shoot without magnification, but it would obviously be an advantage.
Big advantage.
And my scoring would be different. My 10 ring on the targets would be smaller.
I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a difference in shooting that way in college.
Mm-hmm. So it would be a change I would have to make if I would want to eventually go on the Olympic route. So it's something to think about. It's something to think about if I want to make that change here in the next few years as I finish up my collegiate.
You know, it seems like from what you're telling me, then the Olympic shooting is more of a technical.
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't seem to be as fun as the hunter division. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's a lot more to do with your equipment and kind of making sure you have your setup exactly right.
I've seen those stabilizers, the 3-foot stabilizers on bows, and I think, I couldn't walk through the woods with that.
No.
I mean, you'd be knocking brown branches.
I wouldn't want anybody walking behind me with that.
No.
Yeah. A lot of my teammates that shoot on the compound division have their compound set up for competition season, and then they have a hunting setup. So they're constantly switching back and forth.
That's serious?
Yeah.
So are you shooting paper targets or actual 3Ds or both? Or
I do both. So in October, more in the fall, we'll shoot the 3D setups. And then going into the spring, we'll shoot paper targets.
But still animal type targets or actual targets?
Targets.
Oh, okay. Which is more fun?
I like 3D better.
Yes.
Yeah, so in Missouri, we actually got to shoot 3D, and it was actually in the woods. It had just rained, so it was like a swamp, and it was the closest thing you could get to hunting, but collegiate scoring, so it was the best shoot I have had so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to shoot out at the Ben Avery facility?
I have. I did. A couple of my teammates and I helped out at the AZ Cup last year, and
nice.
We got to shoot out at their facility for a little bit between helping, so it was pretty nice.
Did you shoot the mountain courses or the
We did.
That's pretty cool.
It's challenging.
Yeah.
And how often have you been out to Usury?
Just once this past week.
Really? That was your first trip out there?
It was.
That's a nice range. Did you do the walk range for the 3D shoot stuff?
I didn't. I just shot at their one range they had, so.
They have, it's paper targets on bale setup that they have, but you can watch, and they'll have it like, one target you'll see there's an elk, and it says 46.5 yards. And then over the next hill it'll be a turkey, and it'll be 24.5 yards. And then
it gives you the yardage?
Yeah. Well, and you can shoot from different spots along the way. I mean, you can shoot one that's at 50, 55, 60, 65, each target that you go into. And it's kind of cool because you can walk the course. It's like 10 to 20 animals that you can take a shot at. And they're all 3D, and you can do various stages of distances, and they have them marked out on the ground how far away they are. That's a cool 3D shoot area. I like that a lot.
Well, years ago at Ben Avery, which was Black Canyon shooting range back then, the clubs in the valley would vie, actually draw straws and pick dates to use the facility for actual 3D shoots that were off of their normal courses. So this was out through the desert. And we put on several of them. The club I was involved with, we put several of them on. And they were huge. I mean, back then...
Oh, back in the...
I shot tournaments shooting in the instinctive division that had over 200 shooters. Wow. And that was up at Lake Mary, actually. There was a club up there that did it. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Wow.
Great stuff. Well, we're going to get this first hour wrapped up. When we come back, we'll have more with Anna Camacho, a world-class shooter, and visit with Scott Lavin, the Wildlife Recreation Chief from AZGFP. We're going to be talking about the Arizona Expo coming up next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. More with JK, Anna.
And MK, Joe Nocta.
MK?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
We don't need to know.
Not on the air. We're going to thank some of our sponsors. When we come back, we'll have some more fun. Stay with us.
Watch out, boys. Fast Daddy Don's gonna make some noise. Me and the boys gonna shake, rattle, and...
Now, here's your host, saltwater fisherman, the man that fears no fish, Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro, Don McDowell.
Hey, we're back. Thanks for joining the second hour of Shake, Rattle, and Troll. We've got JK in the house, as always, with his voice of moderation and lacking reason today. Joe Notcha, world famous. You're a famous guy.
No, I'm not.
How can you not be a famous guy? You've gone to Africa 11 times.
Well, why does that make you famous?
Because you have enough money to go 11 times.
You go head to head with the most dangerous animals on the earth, and you come back.
Yeah,
that's pretty famous.
I sold hunts there, so it allowed me to get over there for very reasonable prices.
That's called strategic marketing.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Joining us now, up next, Scott Lavin, the Wildlife Recreation Branch Chief. Is that correct, sir?
That is correct.
Whoa. Branch Chief, Wildlife Recreation. I usually call that Handlebar Jays, but it's okay.
Nice. Scott, I apologize. I'm about half irritated. You could have brought my elk tag down with you.
Why didn't you?
I mean, you could save the
results,
save the postage.
Do you realize that those things are kept locked behind armed guards? And I'm not a law enforcement officer. I don't carry, so I
want to.
I love his southern drawl.
You gotta love it. Well, you guys have got the expo coming up the 28th and 29th. Huge event. What's going on this year?
Well, we always try to add something new, and we have a couple things. Obviously, we're going to revisit Lake Powdermore. Was a big hit last year. I think we put over 3,000 people in kayaks in the middle of a desert. That's pretty exciting. Bass Pro signed on as a silver sponsor for that, and they're blowing it up this year. Also new this year, we're going to have you've heard about the new customer portal like Aim and Fish. So we're going to have a wildlife portal tent to kind of roll that out to the public.
I have that portal issue on my list of questions for you today as we move through the next half hour.
And then also this was kind of a last minute deal, but one of our silver sponsors, Iron City Polaris, and some other OHV dealers, wanted to work with us, and now we're going to have a OHV demo track.
Nice.
It's going to have a little bit of a hop to it and bank turn, and it's basically a football-sized dirt track that if you're interested in buying a side-by-side OHV, a dealer will take you for a ride in it to show you how smooth the suspension is and the quality of the product.
Take you for a ride.
Because if you let Scott Lavin go for a ride, he's going to have a great time killing himself. That's why we need a qualified driver.
I was planning on being out there myself all weekend for Bill Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. We'll have a Jeep ride and drive set up out there. But I want to have my 5-ton out there on Friday. Really annoys Doug Burt. He just goes into a whole new level. But I was wondering, may I try the OHV track in my OHV?
We might have to wait until after we close Sunday because I have a feeling your OHV will flatten the track.
Yes, it would.
It won't be
the 5-ton. Give me a break.
Yeah, I'd like to try that. Hoorah! Okay.
He'll be scraping the bottom of the track.
No, that's some good stuff. I'm always excited to go to the expo. There's just all kinds of stuff, archery and shooting. What's happening on the firearms end of it? That's always exciting.
It is. This year, we went to SHOT Show this year, and one of our shooters and employees, Matt Schwarzkopf, multiple gold medal,
the long-range
shooter, guy's amazing. He really has some amazing relationships, and this year we've got SIG and H&K coming for the first time.
Really?
And I'm really excited. Well, I'm excited, but I'm also annoyed because since I've got to work it, I won't get to shoot any of their guns. But so we've got some new faces on the firing line. As always, we're going to have the Arizona manufacturer section of the firing line. It's going to be full up as always.
The minigun going to be there?
You know what? They had a scheduling conflict, so Dylan is not coming this year, but, they're looking forward to next year with us.
So I don't have to bring my Advil?
No.
It's pretty cool. They put all the 501c3 guys in this tent right across from that minigun.
Everybody, how it bow? You like to bow.
Now, who brings the 50 caliber handguns?
We'd have to get with Schwarzkopf on that. I think Smith & Wesson traditionally has brought some of those larger calibers.
They're going to be there again?
Smith, I'm sorry, I can't.
If they are, it's worth the drive out there just to shoot one of the darn things. It's just amazing.
So the way it works is if you're interested in firing a firearm, you go to the vendor in question, and like I said, there's Glock, there's Walther, there's all sorts of firearm vendors. And for most calibers, 44 Magnum and below, it's $2 for 5 shots. Usually, I don't know if the prices are going to go up this year with things with ammunition and so forth. If it's over 44 Magnum, it tends to be $2 per shot because those are big bullets.
Yeah.
But it's always exciting, and we have uniform range safety officers one-on-one with the shooters. It's just a huge venue, and just I think we put about 5,400 shooters through last year on center fire range.
Wow.
In 2 days.
What's going on with the archery?
So archery, we've got an expanded archery line again this year. As always, we're going to have our archery program and some of our archery partners probably double the line. The Arizona Rangers give us a hand volunteering on that line because it's pretty busy.
Well, you have a whole family archery program established.
We absolutely do. We're big. Yeah. We're big with the National Archery in the Schools program, and this year we rolled out the 3D targets. So I heard a lot of discussion about 3D archery targets. We're really excited about that program this year. It offers increased opportunity for conversion into hunting from a target sport perspective, and it's been hugely received. So I'm sure you'll see some 3D targets out there this year.
Outstanding. In your mind, what is the showstopper this year? You always have something that's really cool.
You know, I think that dirt track's going to be pretty neat. Powdermore's still front and center. But personally being involved in this new portal rollout, I hope that new wildlife portal tent. I tell you, our publications department has worked on the graphics on this tent. We've bought and we're renting some technology for this tent, and I can tell you that tent will be something like you've never seen at an Arizona Game and Fish event before.
Sounds exciting. Friday you have Kids Day for the schools. Is that still happening this year?
We absolutely. We had 7,000 students on Friday last year. We saw school buses all the way from Yuma, and I wouldn't want to drive from Yuma in a school bus, but they
full
come
of kids?
out full of kids. And,
bless their hearts.
We've got the homeschoolers come out, and it's really just a youth day on Friday, and so the whole event isn't open. It's mainly educational focused, and that's always popular.
Homeschoolers, yeah. You got to just cover everything. That's pretty interesting. Besides the, the general firearms, you have the cowboy shoots competition.
Yeah. As always, the cowboy mounted shooters, are a cornerstone of the event. A lot of activity with them. They have one of their national competitions at this event, so it's always a lot of fun working with them, and there's always a crowd lining up over there. So I tell you what,
those guys take it to a whole brand new level, barrel racing and shooting pistols.
I can do one at a time but two at a time, I think I'd be on the ground.
Bird shot on those balloons. I've watched that enough times. Pow, 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 pow. It takes them out. Seriously, that's what they use, is that little bird shot on those revolvers, right?
I've heard a couple things. I've heard it's rock salt. I've heard it's
rock
ground
salt,
up ground up peanut shells. So maybe it's who you buy them from, but I tell you, they do a great job, and it's like I say, it's always exciting to watch them.
Oh, they do a really good job. Women tend to be better at it than men too, for some odd reason.
We talked about that earlier. They're starting to dominate. You know why? It's because the guys always do stuff for them. Right, Anna?
Ooh. Look,
I got the one eyebrow up. Her lips are starting getting really thin and she's starting to squint. That's a bad thing.
I know nothing about him. I swear. Yeah, okay. I'm not associated with anything he says or does. Does not reflect my opinions at all. I'm the voice of moderation and reason.
Let's talk a little bit, since you brought it up, the portal. I know you personally have been kind of the ramrod behind that. When are we going public with it?
I'm strictly supporting CAST on this. Our IT guys have done just an amazing job. We just got back from the North American Conference where they presented our project and got a lot of national level attention for what they're doing. As with any IT launch, it's complicated, and boy, I tell you, last year I had no idea how complicated it was. They're looking to go live this week in conjunction with the Expo.
Is that right?
Yeah, and
nice.
And I'm telling you, this is something, when we first started talking about this and we looked at other states, nobody had an example for us to follow.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's kind of like lane navigation at night without a compass. It's been exciting.
How about the fee structure for this? Are we still talking about that?
So there's the idea behind the customer portal is just to allow you to tailor your experience with the department. So.
All right, hold that thought. We've got to flip into a break and thank some of our sponsors that make this possible. Billow Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram I-17 West Camelback Road since 1927. I'm Don McDowell.
Special K.
Scott Lavin.
Joe Nocta.
MK. You've got a new name. It's Special K and MK.
Oh, that works.
That'll be BK.
Yeah. That's a better one. BKJK.
Monkey Killer's going to get you in trouble with some folks that we know.
You had to go there, didn't you?
No, I haven't gone there yet.
Yeah, you did.
We'll be back. I can. Alrighty, we're back with Wildlife Recreation Chief Scott Lavin from aggfd.gov. You can go to that website. Right on the home page is a whole bunch of stuff about the expo. You were talking about the portal. Go right ahead and finish up that thought.
Well, just real quick. So there's two major parts of the portal. The portal is transitioning our traditional website, which, let's be honest, is a little clunky. We wanted to be more contemporary, more relevant to the current generation. So the portal is absolutely free. And you can have a personalized account with the portal for free, kind of like you might with Facebook. Only I can't see who else is a member. So, you and I like to hunt, so we'll get hunting stuff. I can't afford a boat like Don, so I won't get boating stuff unless I get a raise. And it'll tell you what, you can sift through the 47,000 current pages of our website to just the stuff that is most impactful with you. And you talk about, licensing and boating bonus points. That's all going to be at a glance now. Now, there is a section that you can pay into if you choose. It's called the I Support Wildlife Program, which is a new program. It basically, just like any other annual membership, whether it be like NRA or whatever, you for $25 a year, you can pay in. You get an annual subscription to the Arizona Wildlife Views magazine. The
hard
magazine.
Copy?
Yes.
Nice.
Comes out to your house. Yeah. You will also receive a window sticker, a thank you letter from the director, GIS mapping interface for your mobile device by Wildlife Management Unit, and also up-to-date fish stocking reports, Don. So you'll know when the lake down the street has been stocked. And that's just a first round, 1.0 release.
But that'll be do we know it's a $25 fee?
We do. And that goes into the Game and Fish General Fund to support the department's efforts. But that is, that's just for, people who either want those products or want to, support wildlife. It has no effect or impact on your hunt or your draw odds or your licensing or anything like that.
Cool. Let's give a little recap on the expo. What time does it start on Saturday?
So Saturday, March 28th, we're 9 to 5, and Sunday, the 29th, we're 9 to 4. We find that the crowds tend to fall off quicker on Friday, so we cut it off an hour early.
Yeah. And then just taking it from the top here, as you come into the parking area, which is on the east side of the Ben Avery complex, you've got a .22 steel target shooting, black powder, intro to shooting. You need to go to that, JK. And here's one for you: BB gun shooting.
BB gun, okay.
I am going to that. Family archery, the family fishing, family adventure tent, food courts, outdoor presentation tents, all kind of fun stuff. Now, right directly south of all of that is the archery field course and walking trail. And on that particular side of the street, you have the cowboy mounted shooting competition, more food courts, RVs, AZGFD, OHV displays. Sounds like the Coast Guard. Mm-hmm. We have
acronyms.
400 question test about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Off-highway vehicles, and you'll find the Bill Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram Jeeps out there. A demo track. North of that, in the main area, you have digital adventure tent, paddlemoor, kayaks, outdoor exhibitors tent, more food courts. Do you have Rolaids there?
We probably need some. I try to hit every food vendor in the weekend, and I haven't achieved that goal yet because it is some good food out there.
Is there a breakfast with the director on Saturday?
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
For
who's flipping pancakes?
Yeah, I think Jim Paxton's going to be out there and maybe a commissioner or two. And that's for the folks that work Expo, the employees and the exhibitors. So, you mentioned Bill Luke. I'm pretty sure they're a bronze sponsor this year, and we definitely appreciate that support.
We appreciate being out there. It's just fun to support the department. Let's see, on that north side, you have the outdoor groups and expert tents, firearms manufacturers, bench rest shooting, air gun shooting, another one for JK, cowboy shooting, more good stuff.
We get to shoot cowboys?
No.
Practical pistol shooting. with
he said it, cowboy shooting.
Ground up peanuts.
Yeah.
Handlebar J's.
There we go.
Friday night at midnight.
You know, the thing that John and I were talking about during the break, you know, one of the biggest parts of Expo, I mean, it's a great show. It's a great free event for the family. And you know, we can't stress that enough, that it's free to come and it's free parking. But, you know, if really, besides just catching your first fish or shooting a BB gun in an inflatable range, which is really cool, you know, it introduces the public to all the different programs that are out there for outdoor recreation. And I mean, you know, it takes a little more to, you know, go out and take up shooting or archery or horseback riding or OHV. That's not something that you just pick up overnight. So it's nice to have an entry level, safe educational program. So, you know, if you're looking for structure for the family to go out and do, you know, just really cool, fun events, this is the place to do it, because you're going to have, you know, you mentioned the NGO tent and our experts tent, just tons of clubs out there that you can become members of, whether hunting is your thing, bird watching, fishing, boating. It just really is a great place to network and plan your next vacation or your next weekend.
Yeah, it's all about family activities and, you know, what the department does, you know, for the state community, all the different programs. And, yeah, again, it's an opportunity to, you know, to rub shoulders with the folks that work at the department and get to know them on a more personal basis than, you know, the OGT guys at the lake going, oh, God, I forgot my license. That's a bad thing. But it's all good, and I highly recommend, you know, taking the family and go out there Friday, Saturday, hang out. And, you know, it's worth 2 days. I don't think you can effectively go through that thing in a day.
You know, we're up to 16 acres. It's a big event, and it's exhausting to drive across it. So walking, especially if you got a full family with you.
Well,
yeah,
you have
it can
shuttles.
take a while. We do. We have people movers that go up and down the full length. We have ADA support, specialty golf carts if for anyone with special needs. So yeah, we really make an effort, because it is an outdoor event, and you know, sun and wind and temperature can be an issue. We got first aid stations all across the board with water and so forth. So we do our best to make it as comfortable as possible for everybody.
Good stuff. How many folks are you expecting through there in 2 days?
You know, again, with an outdoor event, it's always kind of, you know, dependent on weather. But last year we were at 48,000. I'd love to see us break 50,000. We've got plenty of room.
What's the weather forecast extended? Have you looked?
You know, right now I think we're due for 80s, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of wind. And
that was the big key last year, was the wind. Wind has killed us a couple of times.
Well, this past couple of years we've donated to the Madazelle Apache tribe to not dance that weekend.
Yeah.
And it's worked out well.
Well, we've already had one of the expo tents tore up by wind, so there's a saying at the department, it's expo, so it's windy.
Yeah, well, that's coming off of Lake Pleasant. Anyway, that should be a outstanding deal. Scott, I appreciate you coming down. We will see you Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Ben Avery World-Class Shooting Range with the AZGFD Outdoor Expo.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. We'll be back.
The morning's kind of damp. I'm not worried about cutting the grass. Left my truck at the boat ramp, and my boat is full of gas. My old boss thinks I'm sick today. He won't have me to harass, 'cause I'm out here on the river.
He can kiss my big old bass.
All right, sing along, Anna. Kiss my bass.
Kiss my bass.
I'm not sure you want me to sing.
All right, Brother James, our master rod builder from Rim Country Custom Rods, downtown Payson, where the weather is always nice. James, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, Don. Hey, I'll tell you big news up here. My wife and I went to dinner one night this past week. We ran into a whole group of guys from Payson and Tonto Basin that fished the Billoot Bass Days. And what a hoot. I mean, they were laughing when I got there, and they were laughing when we left.
That's a good thing.
Yep, everybody had a great time, and I was amazed at how many guys from up here won either a $100 check or a $300 check. We had a couple repeat winners. So, great tournament. Everybody from Payson can't wait till next year.
Absolutely. Talk to Kim Carter about that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a fenced-in area for all the Payson people.
Yeah.
Yep. Downtown Payson right here.
With padlocks.
Yeah, yep. It's security. No, everybody was really well behaved this year. It was really awesome. We had over 400, well over 400 anglers. And next week I'll have the catch report and all the stats available. I'm going to ship that off to the department. We had 0 fatalities on our fish, and a lot of kids, a lot of families out there. It was a great time. All right, what's happening over at the Mother Lake?
Hey, there's 2 things going on. First, it's spring break, and the second is we have excellent fishing conditions at Roosevelt Lake. There's huge crowds down there at the lake, and even the rain that we had earlier in the week isn't holding anybody back from going fishing. The flows into the lake are a little bit lower than what they've been in the past, but we're still at 48% full. And the bass, we have pre-spawn, we have spawn, and we have post-spawn. The majority of experienced anglers are fishing for those post-spawn bass because they're mostly feeding on shad and swim bait imitations. So anglers that are familiar with the Zoom Super Fluke or small paddle tail swim baits or your car keys, any of those 3 things will catch fish this week on Roosevelt.
Wow. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's that time of year where fish are shallow. You're mostly going to be fishing within 20 feet or less. And, guys that like fishing Cincos and Texas rigs and drop shot, those slow, tight baits are working very well. But most guys are after that reaction bite and just catching big numbers. No huge fish reported this past week, but a lot of numbers caught. Starting to move out a little bit deeper now with those post-spawn bass. I'm hearing guys that are fishing humps that are out near the edge of coves and things like that. So you'll probably be more in that 20 feet of water, but we'll see the bass start to move out a little bit deeper now that the spawn is ending.
All right, that's really good stuff. Anybody taking advantage of the warm weather up on the trout lakes?
Yes, there's definitely guys getting up there, and there's a lot going on with Game and Fish doing their stockings up there. Most of the stocking for trout in the lower level elevation lakes has ended. But during the summer, there's another trout stocking program that starts up on the rim and the streams up there. And those will actually start next week, being stocked by Arizona Game and Fish. And they start with some of the streams, and then later on, as we warm up a little bit, they get up to the main lakes. But there's still the lakes that are open and available. Good fishing up there. Lots of guys going up there and catching trout. They just love doing it.
James, I want to ask you, I know you're involved in the MSA up there. What is your involvement actually with those boys?
I was asked to join the leadership committee of the Mogollon Sporting Association, and it's a volunteer group. It's a 501c, and they focus on 2 things. One is the youth in our community up here. They sponsor a lot of school projects and clubs at the school, and the second is conservation for wildlife. So they work hand in hand a lot with the Arizona Game and Fish Department for wildlife conservation. And I was asked to become a committee member for the MSA, and been doing that for 6 or 7 months now, and really enjoying it.
JK, you're involved with those guys to a certain extent with the...
with the Basin Natural Resources,
yep.
PNRC.
Good stuff.
Mogollon guys do an awful lot of good projects, and they try and involve the kids in something that I've been trying to preach for a long time to Game and Fish, and that is that we need to get the school kids out on projects. That way they can understand a little bit more of what happens on the ground, how difficult it is to do some of these things, and how it's not the video creation where you walk out and you see wildlife all the time.
Yeah. James, you guys have a banquet and a raffle coming up. Tell me about that.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Don. It's on May 2nd, and it's at the Madazelle Hotel and Casino up here in Payson. And if you're an outdoor person, this is a must-go-to opportunity. Banquet dinner and raffles and auctions and silent auctions, and they give away a gun case that is full of rifles and handguns, and it's a good opportunity. Lots of bows that are being raffled. Rim Country Custom Rods is donating a custom-built fishing rod at a $200 value. So anything related to the outdoors is going to be there. If anyone's looking for tickets for this, you can give me a call at 468-0263 here in Payson. The area code's 928. Or you can go on the website. It's msapayson.com and check it out.
All right. We got a couple of minutes to get this thing wrapped up. What else was happening up there?
Hey, the other big thing is crappie fishing. The crappie are starting their spawn, so a lot of guys are fishing shallow for crappie now. Shallow being for crappie is in the 10 to 20 feet range. But the male crappie turn black during the spawn, and they get these beautiful emerald green and blue spots on them, and you can kind of see them from the surface. And they're a hoot just to go catch some of those crappie, and if you release them, they'll swim right back to the log where you caught them from. And but a good crappie bite. It's been a long time since we've seen a good crappie spawn. I think we're having one this year.
Good. Well, I'd like to think it's a direct effect of all the good work that the Fisheries Branch Chief and Curtis Gill and Dave Wiedemann and those guys are doing.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's great to see those guys involved, and lots of guys are, it seems like the whole perception with Game and Fish and the amount of help that they give to the lakes has changed over the last couple of years, and I hope that continues going forward.
Well, we've got an aggressive schedule for the balance of this year. We will be talking to the Fish and Wildlife Service here in the next little while. I'll leave it go at that about maybe giving us a hand with the mitigation of the effects of the gizzard shad that they deposited on the drainage. So that being said, we're going to wish you a great weekend, and we'll visit with you next week.
Thanks a lot, Don. Talk to you later.
All right, James Guggenauer, Rim Country Custom Rods, Master Rod. Do you fish?
I do fish a little bit.
And where do you fish?
Just usually around the little lakes around my house.
Urban lakes.
Yeah.
Nice. That's all good.
Oh yeah. Where do you go in Gilbert?
There's a lake by the library. I'm not sure what it's
called.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's that riparian area. They have it in there.
Yes,
okay.
that one.
That one. I know where that's at.
The riparian preserve.
Yep.
Sounds like there should be.
Do they have catfish or bass in there? Do you know?
There's both.
Is there?
Absolutely.
It's been a while.
Catch and release?
Yes.
Why do you do that? Why put the effort? Eat them.
Release,
they're good.
Release to the grease. Yeah, it's all good.
Release.
All right. Hey, when we come back, we're going to wrap this up with Anna Camacho and Joe Notcha, and I'm sure JK will have words of moderation and reason to start the week with.
It's a fact, but the thought of somebody else rubbing her back just kills me.
All righty, we're back. We're going to get this thing wrapped up and go on about our day. Some of us are having NASCAR today, and are you hiking today?
Nope, not hiking today. I did it yesterday.
You're a glutton for punishment.
It's something you have to do. If I don't do that twice a week, I get real weird. And if I'm working out 4 days a week, something weird.
But punish yourself twice a week?
4 times a week.
Okay. I'm not even going to go there. Any parting words on all the good stuff up at Lookout Mountain Outdoors and Martin Archery?
Man, the recurves have really taken off, which kind of surprised me.
I've heard that.
We're selling more recurves.
You're like making a traditional comeback, back to basics?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And right now we're stocking 14, 15 recurves in stock at any given time right now. So,
what's your favorite? What are you shooting?
Well, what I will be shooting and what I'm shooting now, I'm actually shooting a red stag, 50-pound bow, which at my draw length I'm shooting 55, very smooth pulling bow, actually pretty fast.
What is your draw length?
With a compound, I'm actually 30 inches, but I'll shoot the recurve at between 29 and a half.
You?
28 and a half, 29.
And yours?
27 and a half.
You have long arms. I mean,
Yeah, for a lady.
most females are
26.
like 25, 26, yeah.
But she's tall.
Yeah.
What are you? You're about 5'8".
I'm 5'9".
Bingo.
Mostly legs.
Yeah, everybody is at that age, Don.
I'm telling you. Except Joey.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, that's all.
Joey's mostly arms.
I do have long arms, but I also have long legs. A very short trunk. So, yeah, 5'9" to have actually I shot a compound initially at 30.5. So at 5'9", that's very long.
Very long arm.
What did you say yours was?
28.5.
Really?
Short arm.
Wow.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur. That's it. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Somebody's got to be. Come on.
Well,
No, but the
that just
recurves
means
have-
he has to get closer.
Yes, true. Well, with a recurve, yeah. And unfortunately, in today's archery, the shorter the draw length, the slower your bow. That's just the way they build compound bows. Okay, recurve's exactly opposite. The more you pull, the more weight you pull, up to a certain amount. There's a lot more to recurves than people think, and we actually tune the recurves. You don't think you can tune them?
What do you
world
tune? How do you
a
tune a recurve?
A takedown recurve has a tiller distance, just like a compound bow does.
Yeah,
Brace height.
What's
that's
tiller?
high tech stuff.
Brace height has
What
to
you talking about, tiller?
Tiller's on my outboard.
Yeah.
Tiller where the limb meets the riser. If you measure from there to your string level,
Yeah.
and then you measure it down below your bottom limb. Okay, on a compound bow, that tiller needs to be 0, equal on both top and bottom. On a recurve, you're loading up, if you're shooting split finger, you have an extra finger underneath, center, so you need to load the bottom limb up. So that bottom limb needs to be stronger than your top limb. Same thing if you shot instinctively with a compound. You still have to load the bottom limb up. Typically on a compound it'd be 1/8 of an inch difference. On a recurve it could be a little more. I shoot 3 fingers under, so I really have to play with my recurves to get them on the money. Your brace height has to be met. Most bows are between 7.5 and 8.5, and you achieve that by twisting string or untwisting string. So there's a lot more to it than people think. On a one-piece recurve, you're strictly messing with the brace height, and that's it. And that's from your riser back to your string.
That's what I'm accustomed to as a one piece.
As a one-piece recurve.
Did you get all that?
Learn something new every day.
Just give it to the boys; they'll fix it.
Yeah.
But we twist the strings up. I take every bow. I set the tiller on the takedown bows. Brace height's met at an average of where it should be. So when people come in, that bow's ready to shoot. So I string them up for them. Go, there's a target. Shoot it.
Tiller must be the same thing as a riser.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what we're guessing.
A tiller?
We'll let it go.
Okay.
So, Anna, what's your next shoot next week? This week coming up? Do you have anything coming up real quick?
So we're going to head over to Dene College, which is on the reservation, practically in New Mexico, for an outdoor tune-up shoot before we head over to Irvine, California for outdoor regionals.
Where is that?
It's in Tucson, Arizona.
What?
So it's like...
Is that the Hopi? Or no, that's Navajo land, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the Navajo Nation.
Okay.
So it's like 3.5 hours
Who
away
better
from
to host an
Flagstaff.
archery
Then
event
truly.
than the Navajo Nation? I'm just saying.
This is true.
Yep.
Well, we wish you the best, and please keep in touch with us. Do you have a Facebook or anything we can follow?
I do. I have a Facebook. It's just under Anna Camacho. And then I also blog about my archery and my archery competitions. It's on thewoma.com. It's on their website. And then you can find my archery blog and kind of see where I'm at and where my competitions have taken me.
Cool. We want to know. We want to keep track of you, see where things go with this.
For
we
sure.
wish you the best
I
of
will
luck on
update
it.
you. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Just make sure the guys keep getting you the arrows. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Just pull.
And your offer still stands for Glenn doing a little tuning?
Bring your bow in. If you want it super tuned, we'll take care of it for you.
Again, the guys will take care of that for you. I'm just saying.
Well, thank you.
And like I said, I just happen to know somebody that has 300 Easton Axis arrows. If you want them cut at 27 inches, they'll be ready by tomorrow.
Okay.
You could stop in and pick up 2 dozen of them.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Now, serious question. Do you shoot with a hat on?
Sometimes I do. It depends on if I'm shooting outdoors or not. But depends on the day.
Okay, why?
Just because...
If it's windy, I would want to wear a hat.
Yeah, if it's windy, my hair's like blowing all over the place. I have a lot of hair, so...
Yeah, ponytail time?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. That's kind of, Don always does the same thing with his. Before we had him trim it out a little bit.
You know why I cut my hair?
I know, you did it for the Coast
Because
Guard.
the Iranian mullets over there are causing too much trouble, and I don't want to be associated with the mullets.
The
I'm just saying. What?
Don's here. We're going to leave it alone.
No, we're good. We're good. And what have you got coming up? We've got an ADA banquet coming up.
We have the Arizona Deer Association banquet is going to be May the 2nd, and we'll probably working joint forces with the Arizona Antelope Foundation, so we'll have our banquet that night.
Again, this year, that was an awesome
It'll be very
event.
close to you. It's going to be at the Wild Horse Pass Hotel and Casino. You'll have a great time. You can't gamble, but you can come and watch.
I might have to
Shoot
stop
arrows.
by.
You can shoot it. Yeah. And basically, we're looking at doing the exact same kind of thing that we did last year. We found it was a really good program. We had a great crowd that came in. The food was terrific.
Joy was there. My
That's
kids
true.
were there.
Yeah. Yep. And we'll be all commiserating about putting in for deer draw about that time.
In sheep.
Oh, yeah.
And sheep. Yep.
I want a sheep tag.
Everybody wants a sheep tag now,
I
Joy.
know.
Yeah, I'm still... how long is the draw situation going on?
Well, right now some of the results are starting to come out. If you look at your credit card, you'll know that you've been hit. And
I haven't been hit, and I've been looking at the draw results, and there's no notification one way or another.
They won't show up on Game and Fish for at least 2 more weeks. They have to go through the process because some people will be rejected on their credit cards because they didn't have sufficient funds.
They
give them a chance to redo it.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, I tried to save them a stamp and went up and asked Tara if I could just pick my elk tag up, and again, she called security. So
they usually do when you're showing up. It's amazing how they have locked doors now because ever since Don McDowell started going up
yeah, buddy. And a final shout out for March 28th and 29th at Ben Avery, 16 acres of outdoor expo presented by Arizona Game and Fish Department.
If you have any questions, Scott Lavin. He's the guy you need to go to.
Absolutely.
Can we have your number, Scott?
Can we get his home phone number put up on the website?
Home phone and cell phone? Oh,
Got
good.
it. Okay.
Yeah. You can call at any hour.
Yeah, call after 10 p.m.
Preferred 2 a.m., but that's okay.
No, it's it's really an outstanding time. Take the family out there and hang out at Ben Avery and take advantage of all the different flavors.
They want me in a kayak since I can't swim. They figure they can roll that sucker in
I'm seeing you on a paddle board.
You don't swim?
Can't swim.
Ooh.
Not good.
Oh.
Negative buoyancy. I can float for about 5 minutes. And then it's down we go.
I didn't know that till we put him in the bass boat and hit about 76 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know, it was a nice, smooth ride. Poor JK, I didn't understand the white knuckle thing.
Just don't tip me, Daddy.
Yeah, but, he's just a master of disaster with a bait caster and a DD-22, man. I mean, he is on it.
Little bird nesting going on?
No. The guy's on it. I said, come on, JK, we're going to go. He just
one more
cast. I said, you're not shot Grisby. Come on, put the rod down. Listen, we got to go. But what I have learned is when you fire the big motor, life jacket comes on, he sits down, grab face to front, and no talking. It's good stuff.
A half mile out from any visible land? No.
Better safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well.
It only takes a second to put that sucker on. And it's a lifetime of peace and tranquility.
Next week, we're going to be talking about the upcoming tuna season. This year, you're in the barrel. You're going. No excuses, no whining.
No crying.
If you need if we're going to put you in an inner trip, you're going. I'm Don McDowell. Anna Camacho, thank you.
Me too.
Look out, Mountain 17232 North Cave Creek. Check them out if you're not shooting Martin Archery Equipment. You're missing the mark. JK?
As always, thank you, Don.
Bill and Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Check them out since 1927. I'm Don McDowell. We're done.